All right, there's nothing like being behind the scenes, having these private conversations in the green room. And I know there's no green, okay, but we are in the green room, and folks can tune in. And what I like to do, Tommy, is I like to always share, I don't want to read this bio because I can't do it justice and we'd be here too long. But do you mind taking a minute or two and telling the audience who is Tommy Pichardo and what are you up to these days?
Yes, all right, Tommy Pichardo. Well, Tommy Pichardo is, I've always liked helping people all my life. And after several years in the home remodeling business, I came into the life remodeling business, helping people transition and transform their lives. So that's what I do today, is to help people transition and transform their lives, mainly in the area of physical and body transformation, so that what that does is increases their health and vitality and energy level.
All right, there's nothing like being... Wow, that's pretty cool. Sorry about that. Now, take a moment, if you would. I've been asking this question of a number of folks that come on board, and the question I've been asking is, with everything going on in this pandemic, okay, the worst pandemic in 100 years, certainly during our lifetime, what type of conversations are you and your colleagues having behind the scenes to keep each other encouraged and keep each other pumped up during these times?
That's a great question. One of the things that we have, the conversations that we have, of course, are continuing to pursue our goals. Because with all the distractions with the pandemic and rioting and protesting and all these things that are going on, it's so easy to get caught up and to get discouraged and get thrown off track. So you have to really keep pursuing your goals, have like-minded people around you to help encourage you to moving forward and to hold you accountable as well, so that you continue moving in the direction that you want to be going and not get sidetracked with all the distractions that are going on out there.
Now, you're talking about something that's very important. Christina Griffin is out there. What's on, Christina? Valerie Fralin has joined. Thanks a lot, Chuck. It is always a pleasure to have you in the house, man. You're talking about a subject about how to transform your life. During a time where a lot is going on in the world, as you just stated, why do you feel now, in this moment, is more important to transform your life than maybe any other time in history?
Well, especially now, because we're at a point talking about transitional point in our lives, and a lot of people have lost jobs that may not be going back to that same type of job. So what that is going to entail is to make changes in your life, to transition and transform yourself. And in order to do that, you have to learn different things. You have to become somebody different to go into this new endeavor, this new way of living, especially if you've lost your job and you have to make a pivot. You have to change what you're doing so that you can continue moving forward. Yeah.
Man, that makes a lot of sense. I know you'll be talking about how to transform your life. We're talking about how to take care of yourself on the inner side and on the outside. Can't wait to have that conversation. There's a joint on right now. We're going to get started in 5, 4, my favorite part, by the way, 3, 2, 1. I can't wait. It's showtime. I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there. And they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is really provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big, big, big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I like to always share the story of Noah in the Bible. And you don't have to be a believer, you really don't. But I want you to imagine for a moment that you're Noah. And Noah's in the Bible and he's on this mission. And he has the experience that he needs. God's given it to him. He has the expertise that he needs and he's ready to get going. And right before he gets going, there's a knock at the door. He's like, what's going on? Excuse me, Noah. We just want to let you know that there are no hammers in the house. No worries. No hammers in the house. We don't really worry about that. It's not a big... excuse me. No, sorry to bother you. Sorry to bother you. There's no nails in the house over here. No nails. No hammer. No nails. Rule number 1, never panic. What is going on? Noah, we're here to report for the very last time. There's no team to put the boat together, and you don't have any wood. Good luck on this mission. And maybe that's you right now. You've got a big heart. You've got a big mission. You're ready to make a bigger change in the world, but you don't have the resources. So this morning, this evening, this afternoon, no matter what time it is in the world, by the way, Tony Pichardo showed up for one reason and one reason only, and that's to transform your life. What's going on, Tony? Tommy, how are you, Tommy? How are you?
Fantastic, Shay. Thank you. Very, very good.
Man, thanks for having you here, man. Thanks for Iris for connecting us, man. She's a rock star. Anisha, thank you for joining in from Las Vegas. Kat from Washington, D.C., thank you. Charlisa, thank you for joining in. Coach Claire Sunshine in the house. Take a moment, and you're talking about transforming your life. Why is that so important to you right now?
Well, today, especially because of the circumstances that are going on amidst the pandemic and all kinds of transitions and changes going on, many people are in that path to have to transition and transform their lives. Basically, starting from, it might be a job loss, that they have to actually change careers. So that is a transitional, a pivoting point, if you will, to transition and transform you into whatever new endeavor you're going to be going on.
Take a moment for those folks that don't know you. Let's slow down, and then we'll speed up. Take a moment and tell them a little bit about your backstory, your narrative. They see you now. You're the fit guy. They're looking at you online and checking you out. Take a moment, if you would, and tell us who was Tommy then, and what was his journey to get to where he is now, so they understand the person we're seeing now is not the same Tommy that someone may have met years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I was a lot bigger person. I had gotten to a point where I became overweight, and I was it affected my health big time because the lethargic feeling, the sick and tired being all the time, and having no energy, low libido. I was 234 pounds at one time with 32% body fat, which health-wise was not good for me. So I got to the point finally where I said, you know what, I gotta lose weight. I gotta change this. This isn't right. It didn't feel right. And so I started my journey basically 7 years ago to start my physical transformation, to lose weight. In the process of doing that, because I learned that you have to continue learning, unlearning, and relearning, is when I started to develop myself. As far as not only physically, but also mentally, learning things and getting involved in different classes and institutions to learn and give me the tools to go about on this endeavor.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
What was one of your biggest challenges? Folks hear the word lose weight and they get a little nervous, and I don't blame them because in our society, as you know today, everyone's talking about lose weight, and you don't have to do anything, right? You just close your eyes, open your eyes, and the weight magically disappears. Take a moment. You talk about transforming your life. What was one of the challenges that you had going through that transformation process?
There were a couple. One was getting wrong information as far as to achieve my physical transformation. And when I mean that, talking about weight loss, I had a lot of bad information and information actually that I learned as a physical education major in college that was actually obsolete, so no longer valid today. So that was one of the hurdles. The second hurdle was actually developing the disciplines necessary, because it has to be done consistently to achieve my goals. So that was some of the hurdles would be, wrong information and then developing new disciplines and mindsets.
Yeah. Take us to the first step that you took to get on the path. Take us there. Did you just wake up one morning? But what was the first steps you took to get on the path to transforming your life by losing weight and also having the mindset shift?
Well, it was basically like when I turned 50 and being sick and tired of being sick and tired. So that set me into motion. What I learned was, as I started moving forward and trying to do things based on old information and not realizing that it's obsolete and it doesn't work. So I had to start learning and relearning and unlearning things so that I could achieve my physical transformation. But in that process, I also learned other things about mindset. And so I sought out education, different things that I got involved with, how to basically learn to increase my communication skills was one of those things. And just various things where I had to learn new things and change behaviors and thinking to accomplish them.
Yeah, I love that. What would you say to the person that's out there right now that's like, okay, he was able to do it, but I'm busy. Maybe he doesn't understand. I have a family. I have a wife. I have kids. We're all at home. We're trying to school the kids. By the way, I work a full-time job, but I'm also a full-time entrepreneur. Oh, by the way, Tony, I'm trying to write this book over here. There's a lot going on. I don't have the time that you may have had. That's not an excuse. That's the reality. And they're watching right now, and they're thinking, I know what he's about to say, but he doesn't get it. What would you say to that person says, I'm just so busy right now?
Well, no, I totally understand because I was very busy as well. As an entrepreneur, we just don't put in 8-hour days and go home. Sometimes those days are 12, 14, 16, 18 hours, what you have you. However, what I learned is you have to, and the bottom line is this, you make time for what's really important in your life. If you schedule a vacation with your family, you're going to make the time to plan it and schedule it and make all the arrangements, right? Because it's important. So the same with anything. If it's really, really important to you, you will make the time. And it's not necessarily about making any extra time. It's about making some shifts to what you're already doing that actually causes the greatest results. It's making these shifts, small shifts, believe it or not, having good information so that you can start making the shifts and start moving forward.
I'm loving it. What are 3 things that someone can do? Don Lyric's out there watching, a fantastic coach. I'm out there in Gulf Coast, Mississippi. She's in Mississippi right now, and she's watching, and so is Anisha, and so is Karen, and so is so many other folks that are watching. Sheila Farr, I see you out there, and so many folks that are watching right now, and they're thinking, look, Shay, just ask them the question, okay? What are 3 things that we can do right now to get on this journey? Because, sound like you know it's stuff. I'm curious. Give us 3 things that someone can do right now to start this journey of transforming their life. They're ready, and they're fired up.
Well, one of the first things, of course, is you have to get your mindset right. You have to know why you're pursuing what it is you want to pursue. And you have to have a strong why because, when challenges come up, it's going to knock you off course, some of these challenges and disruptions and these different things. And when we went through this quarantine, people, they gained 10, 15 pounds, right? Mm-hmm. So, and because it threw them off track. So you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. And then you have to move forward and start taking the action necessary and getting good information. That's the key. Is I found that when you go looking on mainstream about weight loss, most of the information that you see is not correct. That's what I learned. So you have to definitely start learning, educating yourself is one of the most pivotal things.
Someone asked the question, where do I start? Diet or exercise? So what's your answer? What's your response?
Great question, because believe it or not, diet is more important than exercise, although you do need to exercise as well. Mm-hmm. So, but diet, what you eat, not only what you eat, but how many times and how you eat are very, very important, extremely important. The problem is the average American eats 7 meals a day, right?
7 meals?
7 meals. That's including snacks, okay. Right? Well, that's way too many times. And that's why we're in the predicament that America has 70% overweight with 40% of the people obesity. And those numbers are climbing because we eat too many times during the day. So.
Okay. So what would you suggest we eat? How many times do you suggest we eat a day, and what would the portions be? And I know this is a nutrition thing. We're going to come back to transforming lives, but I'm just curious, what do you recommend to folks out there?
Believe it or not, no more than 2 or 3 times a day.
Wow, I'll starve.
No, you won't starve. See, remember what I said. Also, what you're eating is a big, big determination. Too many people are eating way too many carbohydrates and sugar in the diet. That is actually the culprit, is the carbohydrates and the sugar. If you cut out the sugar and minimize the carbohydrates, along the same time, increase your fat intake, believe it or not. I know it sounds strange, but it takes fat to burn fat. And fat is not the culprit and causing you to gain fat. Sugar and carbohydrates are the culprits. And that's what turns fat into fat, is the sugar and the carbohydrates, believe it or not.
Well, you also mentioned transforming your body, but you also talked about transforming your mindset. And I know that you had opportunity to learn and train at the feet of the one and only, one of the greatest speakers of all time, Les Brown.
Yes.
And you had a chance to meet him. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to make that big investment and why you decided to learn how to share your message with the world when you could be doing something else right now.
Yeah, well, I've been following Les Brown since 1989. Actually, I used to see him locally because he's from Miami. I grew up in North Miami Beach, and so in the early days, I used to see him. Of course, he didn't have the crowds that he has now, but he really actually was the inspiration for me to go out and speak, because I also wanted to help inspire and motivate people as well. I'm a natural encourager. I like to encourage people. And I remember the first time I saw him speak, I said to myself, man, I want to do what he's doing. Never in a million years would I believe that he would be teaching me to do what he does, is become a better, more effective communicator, to communicate more effectively.
Yeah.
So,
and when you say encourager, take a moment and talk about your definition of transformation. Transformation or transform means many things to different people. What is your definition of transform? Because the whole thing is how to transform your life.
Yeah, transformation entails both a body and mind experience, right? Because you have to prepare the mind with your mindset. And then, of course, once you have the proper mindset, your body will follow, because your mind governs your body. Your mind and body work together. So it's a mind-body experience, and that you have to work on simultaneously both.
You talked a little bit about, you and I were having a nice conversation. You said, hey, Shay, I was in the remodeling business, but now I was in the home remodeling business, but now I'm in the life remodeling business. Draw the comparison of the two and how you're using that analogy on stages and even right now virtually through the power of these fiber optic lines to help really transform lives as a global transformational mentor and so forth.
Well, that's a great question, because when I was in the home remodeling business, there's different tools that we use to accomplish different projects. There's different saws and different tools that you use to accomplish different things. Well, the same is true in the life remodeling arena. There are tools that you can use if you implement them that will help you achieve the very transformation that you're looking to achieve. So for me, having so many years in the home remodeling business and being aware of how to use tools, if I want to be a table saw, even different saws to cut things differently as a tool. When you're trying to transform and transition your life, there's also tools that you have to know about so that you can utilize them to help you accomplish the very thing that you want to accomplish. Yeah.
I like that. Tools that you can use to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. Take a moment, because I love the 3 analogies you had. And one of the reasons why when Iris connected us, that really resonated with me. And for everyone out there like Dee Bowden and Sher Graham, thanks for joining. And William Thomas, it's always a pleasure. And so many that are watching out there, is that you had this whole idea, this whole concept that you were going to do 3 things, that you were going to help folks increase their energy, have more mental, focus, and vitality. And as
Yeah.
I now have my AARP card, by the way, that mental focus and that vitality is top of mind to me. So take a moment and break down the word vitality, because you use that, and then how that relates to mental focus.
Well, vitality, of course, is having enough energy to do the things that you want to do. And not only having the energy, but also having your body working to its maximum potential. You want to be able to, if you have a backache and different things, you want to minimize these type of ailments and different things by taking care of your body, so you have energy and the vitality to move forward and have the energy to do things you want to do. So, that was the thing I wanted, and that's what happened to me as I started regaining my health and wellness, losing weight, and these different things I was able to accomplish. I saw my energy levels rise. And, as an entrepreneur, you need high energy. You need to have that energy. So when that started happening, I said, wow, this information that I looked into and learned, and I became my own case study because I started applying the information to myself. I said, you know what, I can help people do the same thing. Now, so not only increase their vitality, but if they had overweight, to deal with the excess body and belly fat, to remove that, as I had, because I had those same issues as a man, especially the big belly, the love handles, the man boobs, and all these things. So I had to learn to deal with that, and that's what I do. I help men do the same thing, to remove and have less body fat and belly fat in their body, so that they can correct these things. And then also, when you start doing these things, the way I teach you how to do it, it also increases your energy levels. You just, your energy will increase, your body fat starts going, and the vitality gets better. I mean, your body just starts to rejuvenate is what it does. So, yeah.
What do you say to the person that says, it's too late for me, man? Like I'm at an age, man, like this, it ain't happening. I've tried over and over and over again. I tried this diet, this magic potion, this liquid over here, this wrap over here. Maybe it's just not meant to be for me. I'm a little past that. I should have started a few years ago. What are your words to that individual that's watching right now?
Well, that's nonsense. You're never too old. When I started my journey, I was 53 years old. And I'm 61 today, and I'm still working on developing myself. I want to become 1% better every day. So you're never too old. That's not the issue. The issue is, how bad do you want to accomplish what you want to accomplish? And also about getting the right information and working with the right people. Many people think they can get some information and then go out and do these things by themselves, and they wonder why they fail, don't achieve the right goals. It's because you need other people. You need to work with other people. There's for accountability purposes. With a coach helps you achieve the very thing that you're trying to attain.
Yeah.
So with other people, coaches, mentors, having accountability and good information. And so, that's basically what I teach people and show people from what my experience, and able to help them achieve the similar results. Yeah.
I love it, man. We have this mantra here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show, and the mantra is called "Today is my January 1st." And for those folks that are watching and you know what I'm about to do in this page, you can look right below the video. You can look right below the video, and you can write those words. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are wondering, what is he talking about? Today is my January 1st represents one of those moments, right, where you get to make a decision. And here's the cool part. You don't wait for the calendar to say January 1st. You create a January 1st in that moment. So it's a do-over. It's a fresh start. It's your past does not equal the future. So I want you to imagine for a moment that there's probably 1,000 moments throughout the day. And you make a decision, and any one of those decisions could shift the whole trajectory of your life. And I was sharing with him earlier, you either decide you're going to work out. You got plenty of time now. No one has any stories. Or you're going to sit back and binge watch Netflix. I love Netflix, but binge watch. That's a January 1st moment. Or you make a decision that you're going to eat hamburgers, French fries. Got to have some salt and pepper and ketchup and hot sauce, right? You just got to have all that. Or you decide you're going to open up the refrigerator and you're going to reach inside, and there's some Brussels sprouts. There's some kale. There's some broccoli. Some of y'all are getting hungry right now. That's a January 1st moment. So my question to you, Tommy Pichardo, is when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? What does it mean to you?
Well, if someone is stating that, that means that they made a decision to change what they've been doing, right? And it doesn't have to be January 1st. You can start today, August 3rd, to start moving and transitioning your life. So it's a matter of just getting started. That's the most important thing. Get started. Doesn't matter what day of the year it is. If you want to achieve something, get started. That is what that's about, getting started.
I love that. You probably heard this phrase before, and I love to share it with guests, that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And sometimes there's truth in truisms. Having said that, what do people struggle with most, right? They struggle with consistency. And some of them are excited right now, like they were back on December 31st, by the way, after a couple of drinks on the back of a napkin. They were writing down their New Year's resolutions, and we know how that landed. For some, it didn't land out too well. So my question to you is this. When you hear those words, consistency is the key, what is your secret to success to be consistent in the hashtag stay the course?
Well, the secret is basically having a big enough why. Your reason why you want to accomplish and achieve the very thing that you want to accomplish or achieve. You have to have a strong enough why, because things are going to happen. Life is going to throw you curveballs, pandemics are going to come, and all these different things are going to happen. But if you know and have a strong enough why, it will help you keep you on course, no matter what type of distractions. And of course, if you're working with other, coaches and mentors and people that hold you accountable, that's the other key, is to have accountability and a strong enough why, and that will continue to help you propel forward, moving towards your goals.
That's one of the things I admire about you, man. Taking on this whole thing of transforming lives, helping folks in the health and wellness area as well as in mind. Huge challenge. For those folks out there want to know how can they best connect with Tommy Pichardo, how can they connect with you? And what type of clients do you work with?
Well, I work with men and women, mainly men and women over 40, because me being, in my 60s, and also weight loss is very different for men and women over 40 than it is for younger people, because mainly of the hormonal imbalances that are going on with men and women after 40. So what I've learned was, as I learned about all this hormonal imbalances and how to optimize my hormones, which is really the key to weight loss when it comes to losing body fat and belly fat, and is to correct the hormonal imbalances and also to optimize the good hormones as you lower bad hormones. So these things are very necessary that you have to know to start moving in that direction.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is so important. Thanks for sharing. As we go into a segment called Rapid Fires, where I get to ask any question that's on my mind, and you get an answer, or you can deny it, whatever you want to do. It's your call, my man. But one of the questions I love to ask is, of all the ideas you've learned, and you probably learned, 10,000 plus ideas easily. What is your number one key to success? Now, I know there's a lot of them, okay? I get it. It's hard to boil it down, but we only have so much time. So what is your key to success that you want to share with us, the viewers, that we can walk away with?
It's very simple, actually. I learned this from my mentor, Les Brown, of course. And basically, it's never quit. Don't stop. Don't quit no matter what. Things could get, and it's been challenging. The last 10 years, it's been very challenging for me, but I didn't quit. And that's the key. Many times we set out to do something thinking it's going to take X amount of time, right? Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes it's going to take 10X amount of time. And are you willing to sit and go through that 10X time frame to accomplish the very thing that you want to accomplish? So definitely not quitting is probably the number one thing.
I love that. Now, we talk about the number one key to success, but I know you've had some mentors along this journey, and Iris is out there watching, by the way. Stephen Bell is out there watching, man. They're tuning in. They're out there cheering, saying, yeah! And that's pretty cool, by the way. But of all the mentors you've had, maybe when you were small and you're still a very young man these days, what's one idea that you learned from any one of your mentors that you're going to pass along to us, the audience? the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe?
Well, besides not quitting, I learned another great concept about moving forward faster. It kind of sounds counterintuitive, but you want to accomplish things faster than you think that you can go, because that's when things are really going to start changing for you. That's one thing I learned. You may think that you're not ready to move forward. Well, that's when you need to start moving forward, to start moving, and then move faster. Try to gain the information, the people, your mentors and coaches to work with, so you can start moving and move faster than what you're moving.
Yeah, I like that. Tell us a time when you had to move faster than you really wanted to move, and you decided to go ahead and do it anyway. Because some people are watching right now, like, this guy had no problem, Shay. He just goes out there and does it. He has the right mindset. Was there ever a time, and here's the question, was there ever a time in his life where he failed, where things just didn't work out, and he had to pick himself up and get going again? I don't know, but we're going to ask him that question. So the question is, I know you're a great guy. I know you're like Superman out there, but they want to know, man, was there ever a time where things just didn't work out in your life? And what did you do to bounce back? Do you mind sharing? I know it's I know you want to be Mr. Cool, but do you mind sharing that with the audience, man? They really appreciate that.
Yeah, you know what? I've had many setbacks.
You said many.
That's just the reality of it. It's going to happen, and that's why mindset is so important, and your reason why, because when that happens, you just have to keep moving. Sometimes you might take a break and take a rest, and then you just got to keep moving forward, so you just, failure is part of life. That's how you're not going to become successful if you don't fail. Basically, failure is, I know they teach it as a negative thing, but failure is part of success. It's vitally important to success is failing. Yes, anybody who's successful, and they failed many times before they became successful. So it's just a thing that, with your mindset helping you to move forward, your reason why, you have a strong enough why that's keep propelling you. And I'll just share a real quick story.
Sure, go right ahead.
My physical transformation, that was having a strong why, because once I did become, as you mentioned, I became a member of the Les Brown Institute to improve my communication skills. Well, that required speaking on stage. And one of the things that I had a problem with was my overweightness. I was very conscious of my overweightness. Being on stage, it hindered me. It gave me, didn't have enough confidence because I was concerned about, because I was too big and overweight. Well, that kept me moving, because it took me 7 years to lose 52 pounds. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Well, that kept me going, because I said, you know what? I got to lose this weight. I want to be thin. I want to be able to be on stage and not be worried about being overweight and these kinds of things. So that really helped me keep moving forward. That's why the why is very, very, powerful. You have to have a strong enough why to keep you moving forward. And in my case, that was it. It kept moving forward, kept pressing through. When things weren't working, you just try something different. And in my case, it was a matter of learning and relearning and unlearning things that kept me moving. So that's why the process took 6 years to achieve 52 pounds.
Wow. So what does Tommy Pichardo do for fun? When he's not out transforming lives, he's not out saving the world, what does the guy do for fun these days?
Well, that's a great question. I like to go to the beach and just socialize with my friends and family. That's my idea of fun right now. So yeah, these are the type of things. And when I'm not doing that, I'm working with clients, or actually working on myself. So yeah.
Wow. Well, I want to let you know this is the last question, by the way, and we'll give you a chance to give your final thoughts. But first, if you would take a moment and tell folks, how can they connect with you? What type of clients do you work with, and how can they best connect with you?
Yeah, well, I work with men and women, as I said, but I really predominantly like to work with men over 40, over 50, because being that was my age and the different problems and issues that I had to overcome, I had to learn about them. So I'm very good at dealing with those issues with men, how to lose the excess body and belly fat, how to raise the libido and optimize the hormone levels and these type of things. So mainly with men over 40 or 50 years old to help them with their overweightness, losing body and belly fat, as I mentioned, and achieving more vitality, because when you start doing these things, your vitality increases, your energy increases. So yeah, I can be reached at my website is iamtommypichardo.bcardinfo.com.
What is that?
And
Say it one more time, a little slower, please.
it's I am Tommy Pichardo thecardinfo.com, or you can also just find me on Facebook as Tommy Pichardo Transformational Coach on Facebook.
Okay, got it. I love it, man. I love what you're doing, by the way. You're out there rocking, man. You're making a difference for the world. I want you to know that you have a heart to give. You have a heart to serve. Iris is out there, and so many folks are posting your website right below. Actively working, by the way. She's on the page right now. Says, Shay, I'm out here. Iris, thanks a lot. I know I said second to last question, but before I give you the opportunity to give your final thoughts, take a moment, if you would, and just share the power of collaboration. At a time where a number of folks right now are holding on to what they got and they operate from a place of scarcity, Iris, yourself, and so many others are sharing your resources. She shared you and I and connected us together, and you're doing that. So talk about the power of collaboration and working with other folks now more than ever.
Yeah, that's a great question. Collaboration is everything. You know, as I mentioned, you can't do it. You can't go it alone. You do need other people to help, to work as a team. You can still be an independent, but also working with other people to learn, to grow is vitally important. You have to seek out other people to work with, you know, whether they be mentors or coaches or even other people in your area of expertise. It's just, in my experience, anytime that I've moved forward, it's been faster when I've worked with other people than trying to go by it by myself and alone. So collaboration is key, vitally important. You cannot accomplish very much or be very, very successful without collaborating, without collaboration. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so important. So with that being said, let me say thanks a lot for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. I want you to know you're amazing. You're incredible. One thing I do know is everyone watching, they can always make more money. Everyone watching. But none of them can make more time.
Yes.
And you've given us the most precious gift that you can give us, which is your time. Thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Iris, man, you rock. I met her in Atlanta at an event with the one and only Justin and Burns. And she was just a very kind human being. And I appreciate her. And she was one of the ones, I don't know if you know this story, by the way, Tommy, one of the ones in the very beginning when we were just starting off the Happy Entrepreneur Show, and she was a producer and still is, and she would produce segments to encourage and to inspire and to motivate other folks. And we didn't have any money to pay. And she said, I'm there to give. And you just don't find people like that, by the way, to just want to give, to serve, to help someone else. Just like you today. You didn't say, Shay, send me a Cash App payment. You didn't say, Shay, give me a credit card. You said, no, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help and do what I can do. So we thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Can't wait to connect. Can't wait to have you back. I'm going to turn it over to you, man, to have your final thoughts and your final comments to inspire and encourage all the folks that are out there that are listening. And now, once these lights go off, they got to go to work. They got to make it happen. So over to you, Tommy. Again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
And thank you, Chair, for having me on the Happy Entrepreneur Show as well. I appreciate this opportunity. Final thoughts. I think it's important for people to start focusing on bettering their health, because especially with this pandemic, you know, we learned about compromised immune systems, you know. So one of the factors of a compromised immune system is being overweight. So one of the things I tell people is now is the best time to start working on your health and wellness. If you have overweight, to start working on losing the weight, to increase your health. The benefits are phenomenal. You're going to have more energy, which is important as an entrepreneur especially. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. You're going to perform a lot better. You're going to have more mental clarity and focus, because when you have great health and are eating correctly, these are the benefits of obtaining these things. So it's so important to work on yourself, and in this time more than ever because of the situation out there with the pandemic. Not only that, the anxiety and the fear and the stress levels that being caused by everything that's going on, protesting and rioting and all kinds of uncertainty out there in the world. Now is the best time to start developing yourself, not only mentally setting your mindset and also working on your physical. Get your body right, because it'll just pay off dividends big time in every other area of your life.
God, that's amazing, man. You're incredible. Thanks so much. For those folks that are watching out there, but listen to the one and only Tommy Pichardo. I want you to know that you're listening, that you're amazing. I want you to know that you're incredible. I want you to know that you've got greatness inside you. And for you, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. Why? Because you can get your health together. The best is still yet to come. Why? Because you can have the energy and the vitality. And for you, today is your January 1st. You can go make a difference and $1 at the same time. With that being said, by the way, for those folks who want to know who's making all that noise, who's saying all those words, my name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life, by the way, is very, very short. So we've got to live in the moment and we got to make it count. God bless, and I wish you so much success. Thanks a lot, Tommy. You're a rock star, man. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you follow the page. Make sure you like us. Stay in contact. We'll see you again real soon. We're out of here. It's so much fun. Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. If you're going in, put your hands.
Thank you. God bless.